What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? How's everybody's Friday night?
Hey, everybody.
'Cause I don't think it's going to be a hey, everybody. There's probably very few people watching. It's kind of late.
You got to be somebody on there.
I guess if you're on the West Coast, it's not that.
Yeah, it's not even 9 yet here. I'm surprised I'm leaving so early. Things have slowed down. But that's really a good thing. We'll
What's
let
up,
this guy.
Supra?
How's that? Oh, there we go.
How's Super doing tonight? How you doing tonight, Adam? Yeah, Fluffy. What's up? What's up, OG Scuba? Fluffy. Had a funeral today with his grandmother. That's why he was not on.
Hurry up. Okay, I gotta split it.
Adam,
Hello.
what's up, brother?
Oh, not too much.
It's always nice to get a day off, Supra.
All right, see you tomorrow, Danny.
So yeah, Fluff didn't come online tonight or come on live tonight because grandmother passed away. So. It's probably been a long, rough, hard week for the family.
Amazing how long some of them can go. I guess it depends on what order you were born in.
Thunder and lightning woke you up. I forget where OG Scuba's from. You say it's storming out there?
Nice and clear here in LA.
Except for the smog.
Yeah.
How you been, Adam?
Good. Staying very busy.
That is always good to stay busy.
You still doing the on-site welding thing?
Yeah, harvest picked up for a lot of different crops out here, so I've been busy fixing broken harvesting machines for the most part lately.
What are they harvesting up by you right now? What are they doing? They doing
Potatoes, sweet corn, cauliflower, and they're here in probably a week or so. They'll start with the apples.
Do you drive down into Idaho to work sometimes, or?
But your weather's pretty
No,
similar
I
to
stay
ours.
close by.
Your weather's pretty similar to ours where you live. The savers right now we got sweet corn, of course tomatoes, squash, cucumber pickle season's kind of almost over. Peaches are in right now. Apples will be coming up. You're in Washington, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Thanks for
believe it or
jumping on.
not, we grow everything out here. People think of California, they think it's one big,
Well, thanks for
city
jumping on.
where Nancy Pelosi lives, but we got all kinds of agriculture.
A lot of the apple orchards around here are ripping up and putting in grapes.
Isn't Washington like apple capital of the United States?
There's certainly a lot of them growing here.
I know Michigan has a lot. I thought Oregon and Washington are like the two top states.
Yeah, there's some huge apple orchards around me. I work for.
I wonder why grapes, because they
For wine.
do better in the heat too. But I
Yeah.
wouldn't think that would be a problem up there.
Yeah, they started ripping out a lot of the apples and putting in wine grapes, and
We'll
hops
answer.
are becoming more prominent too.
We'll answer a question right here, Frosty.
Turner, what's happening?
Hey, Turner.
You know, living.
I missed you, brother. I missed you.
There's nothing to miss about me.
Oh, come on now. What the hell happened to your hair?
It got too hot one day, so I cut it off.
Oh,
He's
that makes
lying.
sense.
He's lying. He caught on
I wanted
fire,
I wanted to look like Dave.
so he cut it off.
I wanted to look like Dave for a day.
Yeah. Well, how's Canada? How's the homestead doing?
Oh, it's doing great. The cats are happy. I'm happy. The solar panels are happy. Yeah. Just enjoying time working on projects and getting stuff done.
Well, I tell you what.
Get off my ass and get shit done around my house before winter hits.
And I really haven't been feeling YouTube lately. It's like,
Yeah, I forgot I had a channel there for a minute. I haven't posted hardly anything. I think the goal was to grow it, but it's just kind of stagnating right now. I tell you, the new job it's different. But I tell you what I wasn't expecting, a whole bunch of slotted screws.
Did you get the job at the propeller place?
I did. And I've been there a few weeks now, and I've actually assembled and put together and sent out the door a few working propellers.
Awesome.
I finished one up today. They kind of tricked me into doing because the two master mechanics didn't want to fuck with it. I guess some of them, like most of them, have grease inside of them. And then there's a few that are filled with oil, and the oil has red dye in it. So if there's a leak, the centrifugal force is going to make the oil leak out, and you're going to be able to see traces of the red dye, right?
Makes sense.
Well, they used to convert old ones over, so you glue the hub halves together and you change the blade seals and stuff. There's a whole fucking process, man. You gotta lay like Teflon tape around the blade shanks and epoxy it in and then sand it down and then get it to seal in the hub halves. And you got all these fucking ball bearings, right? You gotta lay these ball bearings in the bearing races. And on a grease propeller, it's great. It's like an old manual transmission. The grease holds everything together for you. The oil-filled ones, they don't want you putting grease in there because then it can trap the oil inside and they don't see a leak. So now, you go to put a blade assembly in and you drop one ball and you got to fucking start all over again. It's a pain in the ass. But anyway, finally got this thing together and sealed up this bearing. It was thrilled. But who the hell puts a slotted screw in an application where you have to put a torque wrench on it? I mean, come on, we've had hex and torques for years now. Why are they using slotted screws?
Yeah.
And then you think you're done, right? Okay, good, it's done. No, now you got to safety wire them all together. That's a fucking art form. They get them safety wire pliers where you clamp them down on two wires and you pull a knob and it twists it.
Yep.
Apparently, you're expected to become a professional at that. My shit
Yeah,
always
some
looks.
excavators I work on have safety wired bolts.
My shit still looks like a blind man, you know, with Parkinson's did it. But I'm getting there. I'm getting a little better. But we're running into politics now. I guess, you know, every shop, every place has their own little politics, and it's really starting to turn me off. I mean, I just left a job.
As long as you don't get indicted.
Yeah.
Well, if you get indicted, Frosty, you will probably get a raise.
Huh?
I said, if you get indicted at your job, you'll probably get a raise.
You know, you're probably right about that. But I got a call from a guy that has a chipper business. Or he works for a company that makes Bandit tree chippers. You know, those great big machines you load, you know, trees into and chip them into mulch. They're looking for a guy to basically be a journeyman mechanic on these chipper machines. And you get a shop helper, you manage the shop, basically. They're paying $8 an hour more than the propeller place. And there's no micromanagement. So now I'm like at a spot where, you know, I'm finally comfortable here. I'm learning something. I'm starting to be happy in my little spot there. And now I got this dangling carrot. You know, I'm talking to this guy about, you know, going over and working on tree chippers. What do? You know, do you go for the money?
I'd go for the security.
Yeah.
Do you like where you're working now?
You know, I haven't formed 100% opinion on it yet because there is some politicking going on. You know, it's not cut and dry. There's a lot of times where I'm kind of stuck waiting for the guy that's training me, and the other master mechanic, you know, he can't be bothered to do anything unless you seal something out without asking him to look at it. He'll force you to come and ask him, you know, hey, can you come back over and look at this for me? You know, he knows what I'm doing. He can see me. You know, I'm 10 feet away from him, but
Yeah.
he's kind of a dick, you know. So I like the job. I like the work. It's interesting. But the other thing is there's cameras all over the place. There's somebody watching you all the time. And I think they can hear what we're saying, too. And I'm not being crazy. I think they got the place. I know they got, you know, I mean, you can see the cameras, but I think they got it mic'd up, too.
Well, I imagine on a job where making propellers and stuff, there's a certain amount of liability the company has to
Oh,
That is very,
be mindful of.
very true. Very true.
that's, I don't think that's what they're worried about. I think they're worried about, oh my God, he looked at his phone. We might have lost 15 cents, These two are having a conversation here, He put his wrench down. It's like 100% micromanaged work. They want you to be on your feet and humping, 100% of the time. There's zero overtime. I'm not complaining. I mean, I don't mind working. It's a little eerie,
Get yourself a cube band, throw all your tools in it, and go independent. Then you can work with a chipper company contract-wise and take some other jobs and add a little bit more security and a little bit more exploration and diversity.
Yeah, I should just go out and fix reach-in freezers and refrigerators.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a truck for doing that, and then work for the chipper guy when he needs me. I mean, I didn't think I'd still be at the ice company now. I figured they would have thrown me out in the street, but I think they're kind of realizing they want me around. So, I don't know, but I'm blessed. Things are going really well in that respect. There's work being thrown at me.
That's good.
And it seems like I can go wherever I want. They seem to be happy with me at the new place. They were thrilled. They said, "Wow, you pick up on stuff really quick, and we can put you in any department. You can do the job." I'm like, "Well, it's not rocket science." If you look at one of those manuals, they are fucked up. Going by the book, it's not self-explanatory work. They jump around a lot and reference other books. The answer's not really there.
Is it still light out where you're at?
No, I'm in a tunnel.
I was say, I didn't think it stayed light out that night in California.
These are the tunnels up by Dodger Stadium. Oh, 110 freeway. Coming up on the 5 here. I'm going to jump off and see if the Home Depot's still open.
I don't think they're open anymore. I think the hours changed from 10 to 9 after Labor Day.
We'll have to find out. I got to come back down here tomorrow. I can always swing
The
in.
contractor pickup might be open.
Yeah, it might.
Have you been working on anything interesting?
Nah, just dealing with rust pots, cutting off rust and welding steel in the last couple of days. We got a couple trucks that are a little crunchy. So they got good frames, good drivetrain. So I get to play with my planisher and my metal tools. So got my old dragged my old box brake out and that, and polished it up, lubed it up.
Speaking of welding,
I
I had to break out the old Harbor Freight MIG welder a couple days ago. It's that big Vulcan 215.
That's a good welder.
I had to weld some stainless with it. You know, I got Trimix and the 308 wire. That son of a bitch did a really good job. I was impressed. I'm thinking, you know, I need a TIG welder to do that shit. That thing does a fine job. It wasn't exactly cheap. The thing was $900. You know,
They're good welders. Those Vulcans are really good welders.
I think it's the same. I think it's coming out of the same factory as a Lincoln or a Miller.
Wasn't Vulcan Harbor Freight's top of the line?
Yeah.
They got titanium, Vulcan, and then they've got the shit that they've always had, which is shit. You know.
Yeah.
But I know I've got one of those little purse welders, you know, with a shoulder strap on it. It's a titanium flux only.
Yeah.
That thing's a machine. You can do a lot of stuff with that little welder.
I have a couple of those really small stick welders. Those like $100 units, and those things work really well.
I've got one I've never used, a Forney, or what's the green one? Is a Forney or Forney?
Yeah.
It's supposed to do stick and lift TIG if you get the TIG gun for it.
Yeah, some company sent me a couple of their welders to tinker around with.
The titanium that you're talking about, that's a flux core MIG welder. That's with the titanium 125.
Yeah, the little guy.
The DC welder.
Yeah, I love that little
A
machine.
lot of good things about that.
It works fantastic. And it's tiny. It's like lunchbox sized. So, I mean, you can only put a 2-pound spool in it, but it takes a while to go through a 2-pound spool. Give me just a second here, guys. I'll be right back.
So you cut body panels up, is what you're saying, Terry?
Yeah, cutting the fender wells out of a couple boxes, getting underneath the doors, a couple quarter panels. There's a couple pieces that I got to make that aren't orderable, but majority of the parts I was actually able to order are actually relatively cheap. So.
Thanks for stopping in, LG. Catch you on the next one.
I picked up a few little old benchtop metal lays the other day. So I'll be messing with those tomorrow.
What kind of lays?
Benchtop ones. They're old Atlases.
Oh, cool.
Hey, Scuba.
Yeah, been nothing exciting over here. It's this way. For me, it's been like the same old thing, just a different day.
It looks like I knocked up my girlfriend, so that's a new thing to deal with.
I like how you put
God dang, customer gave me an invalid VIN number. I can't look up their engine.
what kind of car.
That's a Stinkwinox.
What year?
2013. It needs a 2.4 engine, but I need to make sure I get the right one because apparently there's 2 different versions of it.
You need a whole engine?
Yep.
There's the LEA and what's the other one? There's 2 versions of it.
And that's
The LEA and the LUV or something.
something like that.
Yeah. You watch this.
The body and interior is in great
Or just
shape.
on the
And right
radio.
now with the market, they can't replace the car for less than $6,000. To get a running driving car that's in insane condition, it would cost them about $6,000 to buy another one. So
What's wrong with the engine?
blew it up.
Comes to timing.
Yep. Ran it right out of oil.
Those
Yeah,
head
that'll
oil-
do it every time.
Those had oil consumption issues. The PCV valve would get clogged up, and then it'd start pushing oil out the rear main seals and all that. On top of the fact they burned oil anyway. Most versions of that engine I've ever seen are the LEA version. I do a lot of work on those old Equinoxes. You said it was a 2013. I know a lot of people would say that's not old. Here in Michigan, that's old.
What's weird on I don't understand car computers at all. On my girlfriend's Chevy Cobalt, it's kicking a code that could be either the thermostat or an O2 sensor.
What code is it? Is it P01?
P0135.
135?
Yeah.
$135. I don't recall that related to thermostat.
Heated oxygen sensor bank 1 and sensor. Yeah. So,
It's a bad O2 sensor, most likely.
yeah, it's probably just a bad O2 sensor.
Yeah, the heater probably isn't working. 128 is the T-stat code. P0128. If it's heated oxygen sensor code, normally it's a bad heater in the oxygen sensor.
So you just replace the whole sensor at that point?
Yeah, the computer's detecting that the heater's not working in the oxygen sensor. There's a chance it's a wiring issue, but most likely, 99% of the time, it's O2 sensor.
Okay.
Especially if you look at, you see wires damaged, the connector to the O2 sensor. And it's definitely the O2 sensor. What's that on?
An 05 Chevy Cobalt.
I'd say there's probably about 99% chance it's just a bad O2 sensor.
Okay, I'll definitely check that out tomorrow. It says Bank 1 Sensor 1 on that too, I believe.
Yeah. That's going to be on O2. It's more likely literally just going to be a failed O2 because that code doesn't tie into anything else.
Yeah, it's upstream. It's the one before the converter.
Before the Cadillac converter? Okay.
Yeah. Bank 1, sensor 1's upstream before converter.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much for that info.
Definitely not getting the Marie Man engine. Holy crap.
You notice how expensive the used motors have gotten?
Oh, they're stupid now. I ordered. I went to order a cheap little 1992 little Honda, like I think it was a 2.2 liter, and it was used and untested, and they still won like $1,000 for the thing. It's like, that's a core, man. I'll give you $100 for it.
The engines you used to be able to get for $300. They want $1,600 for them now. You know why? The scrap yard's looking at what new ones cost.
Yep. Well, it's just like doors and everything like that right now. Mostly if your vehicle's has discontinued doors, you're gonna be paying an arm and a leg for a used door. Like had one van had to replace the whole entire driver's door because it was pooched, and I got lucky that I found a whole entire van in Vancouver for sale for $1,500 because they wanted almost $2,000 for a friggin' door for a 2003 Ford van.
I know prices of parts and used parts have gone crazy.
Yep.
But that's our new economic system, and it's working.
Yeah.
It's Bidenomics, and it's working. Don't tell anybody, but it's working.
It's been crazy what, cutting and welding gases have climbed the last year or so. I'm paying almost double what I paid a year ago.
Well, you talk about Leeser, JB Economics, it's working. Shh. It's working. I think he's pretty much done. It's going to be a very interesting election year. I can't see Joe getting voted in again.
Yeah.
Oh, Joe's not even going to run the next election. They got some other Dingledorf lined up. He's stepping down for some other guy. I read an article about it. I can't remember what the guy's name is, but
it's not the Kennedy guy.
No. Well, you guys got the Kennedy guy. You might have Trump, and then you got the Brown guy, the East Indian guy. And
those are
now,
Republicans. The two you just last mentioned are Republicans. I'm talking on the Democratic side. If Joe don't step down, they ain't gonna let nobody run against him. And so far, he ain't stepped down. I'll have to give it to that young Indian kid. I forget his name. Vivek Ramaswamy, or
yeah, He's got some good ideas, but he's got a lot of backwards ideas.
No, but he is. I'll tell you what. He's an extremely intelligent guy. It's very quick on his feet. I watched him like totally fucking destroy a reporter from MSNBC that is known to destroy people in any argument or any interview or anything. And I can't remember. He's also an Indian guy. Like he has Indian. He's from India. His background's from India. Vivek or Vivek or whatever, however you say his name. He freaking destroyed him. And the guy that he was talking to that works for MSNBC destroys typically everybody he speaks to because that's his specialty. And he actually wrote a book. He actually wrote a book, whether it be truth or not, how to win an argument, some shit like that. And the young kid, I think, smoked him. But I also feel as though the young kid's potentially working with Trump. A 6-pack of Miller Light costs $11. I think Gruesome Newsom is out of the equation.
Yeah, I don't think he could win. He's too extreme on certain things.
Oh, he would never win.
No.
He's the governor of California. Anybody who lives outside California, like somebody like me that looks up parts all the time, sees a prop, what is it, 65 warning?
The cancer stuff?
Yeah, I mean, everything gives you cancer if you live in California. So I'm glad I live in Michigan. In the state of California, this has been known to give you cancer. Well, I don't live there. So send me to it.
Our darn government's trying to push a law that we cannot use aerosol cans anymore.
I saw that about Brake Clean and WD-40.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's going to be hairspray. It's going to be a lot of products that are going to fall on that list. Like, oh well, that will just cost the pail. Like up here, like a pail or a drum of Brake Clean costs more per milliliter than it does in a can, like in an aerosol can. So this might cause the drums and the pails to actually finally drop down to a respectable price again. So I don't have a problem like buying a lot of my stuff in a drum and that and using a pump bottle. I have no problem with that. I prefer doing it that way when it used to be cheaper to buy it that way. But
do you use any of those like those spray cans you put the solvent in and you pump them with air?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like they call them Sure Shots here.
Yeah. But the thing that kind of fell out of fad because it was cheaper to buy when you did it per milliliter. It was actually cheaper to buy the aerosol can. Like it was like, no, oh well. Just means that my fees go up more. Thanks, government.
That's what I'll start doing. Is I'll start smuggling Brake Clean into Canada.
We'll dig a hole under the border. We'll get a little train cart and
I'll get a hot air balloon because they'll never expect the hot air balloon, and I'll float over and drop it off.
Well, if you fly a balloon over Canada, make sure it's got a Chinese flag on it. We don't shoot those down. Oh, come on. Try to get our secrets. We have no secrets. It's like, Have they dealt with the homeless problem yet? Nope, we don't want to attack them yet. Those meth heads are dangerous. See, that's our reserve military plan. If any country ever decides to get us, we're gonna tell everyone to go indoors, lock the doors, and we're gonna arm the crackheads and meth heads and let them go at it. There you go. I think I'm gonna have to call the Reman Engine guys down in Mexico. See what they got. Still trying to figure out how they get the engines up here so fast. I've ordered a couple from them. They usually get here within a week.
I remember long ago ordering Reman BF Goodwrench engines from Mexico, like 350s and stuff.
Yeah.
And they'd have like the bearings wouldn't be all the same size and all that.
Yeah. These guys have been good so far. I've used them a couple of times and they're actually really good, but I'm just shocked at how fast they get them from Mexico up to Canada. It's like, oh yeah, they'll be there in a week. Like, yeah. We have retired jug runners that run the engines for us. Get the engine up there.
Good berries.
What's that going on over there? Hey,
I found it.
you got a hungry boy?
Shield.
You got a hungry boy?
We cut the wire. Pictures of in the spectacle.
Oh, Lord.
I could use some mashed potato. It's good, just salty.
Lord.
Right in and out of Home Depot.
Hello, gentlemen.
Oh,
What's everybody up to?
We've been sitting here patiently waiting for you to come back.
I had an adventure. Now another adventure getting on the freeway.
that's a cut in half.
Huh?
Cut in half. Let's throw something.
Cut in half and what?
The season's almost far.
No,
It's so far. Yeah, it's weird.
even these pieces are inside pieces and they're still super salty. I think it was infused.
You're open. You got your tool.
Hmm?
Like I said, good.
Frosty, when you're open, you got your tool.
They got it. They got it. It wasn't what I was expecting, man. My old one was metal. This thing's got a lot of plastic in it.
Are super salty.
They're definitely making them cheaper now. But it'll do the job. Fucked up thing is, you park right by the service counter, you go inside, while you're standing in line, they shut and lock that door, so you gotta walk all the way around to the other side of the store, then all the way back across the parking lot to get to your car. Gotta be better off doing curbside.
See there, you just parked in the wrong parking spots.
Handicap. Should have done handy parking. All I can hope for now is there's something to eat when I get home.
Okay, check this out, man. Big Earth bar cost me $9, brand new.
What is that?
It's a three foot bar.
Princess Auto?
Yep, $9.
Nice.
They had a pallet full of them, and they just slapped the sticker on the side of it. So let's get them out the door today. If I was smart, I would have bought them all, put them on Marketplace for $12.
Hell yeah. I feel like I need to buy something from JDC Co. Sometimes I watch him just because he hates Mr. Subaru.
Him and Mr. Subaru do not get along.
Mr. Landscaper.
And Mr. Subaru has a lot of enemies. He has a lot of subscribers, but there's a lot of people that do not like Mr. Subaru. That's the way he talks to people. He talks down to everybody.
Well, I don't know. I don't really know what he brings to the table anyway.
He brings to the table.
Yeah, I mean, his content's not that interesting.
I will show you that this is not that hard to do on a Subaru. He takes every chance he can to dig into somebody if somebody makes the slightest mistake about anything.
Let me see if I can fix the sound in here.
Because of his sub count, he gets invited to most tool shows. I guess he shows up at them and he doesn't want to talk or conversate with anybody.
Okay, how's that?
You're now out of a 2-gallon fish bowl. You're in a 10-gallon aquarium.
It got worse?
No.
No.
If you're goldfish and you went from a 2-gallon bowl to a 10-gallon aquarium, you're going to be a happy motherfucker.
Okay, so it did get better.
Poor goldfish, the most abused species on this world.
They use them to feed other fish with, don't they?
You know, goldfish, for all practical purposes, this is a gold ass carp. They get like huge, and you put them in this little bowl. And then one day you keep feeding your little goldfishy, and you talk to it, and you say, "Hey, good little goldfishy." And then the next day you walk down in the morning, and it's upside down, and its belly's all bloated. It's because it can't grow in that thing the way it needs to grow because there's not enough room.
Put them in the swimming pool.
So when you like go to like those fairs and they put the little goldfish in this little round bowl thing, and if you put the ball in the thing, you get the goldfish for free. That's like so much abuse to a goldfish.
Yeah.
But I'm not here to save goldfish, so Joe Biden can deal with that.
No Biden.
I'm sure Joe would, if he found out goldfish were abused, he'd propose a bill to save goldfish. Or the other side of the fence to be like, goldfish. Who gives a fuck about goldfish? What about our southern border? What about our own inner cities? What about our own crime rates increasing here in our own country? But yet we're worried about Ukraine. Did you guys happen? I don't want to get too political, but there's only a few people watching. Did you guys happen to catch that interview with or see any part of it with Tucker Carlson and Pence?
No.
Well, Tucker Carlson was asking Pence why he felt as though Ukraine was so important to send, another round of billions and billions of dollars to, and Pence explained why it's such an important what do you call it? International policy agreement. Just he threw out a lot of bullshit about it. And Tucker Carlson said, "You got to be kidding me! $25 more billion to Ukraine. What about all our inner cities here in the United States? Our southern border not being protected, crime rates rising, people killing each other in the streets throughout the United States." And Pence turned and said, "That's not my concern."
Oh, no.
And I thought to myself, dude, if that gets out on enough media platforms, Pence, you're freaking over.
Yeah. It'll
He
be.
basically said the American people was not his concern.
Going to be Donald
International
Trump.
International affairs is a bigger concern than the American people.
Well, that seems like that's the general state of affairs these days. I mean,
Well, yeah, because they're getting money on it and they're getting kickbacks on it.
we're sending millions and billions of dollars to the Gaza Strip there. Palestine, for Christ's sakes. And they're digging tunnels under the Israeli border and bombing fucking nightclubs and elementary schools. I mean, how do we account for that? Yeah, there's no money in the budget for that. Bullshit.
I just want to know why the United States feels well they got to not just be the world's bank, but the world police.
Well, you got to add a little bit of Rand Paul. Not a lot of Rand Paul, because Rand Paul's fucking nuts, but you got to add a little bit of Rand Paul into the equation, America comes first.
Well, some of it is, and I really dislike any kind of political talk and stuff like that. I think a lot of it right now is the U.S. is seeing what percentage of money can they throw at a conflict with our money and our equipment and still have a detrimental effect on another nation's military.
You think it's a proxy war type thing?
Yeah, they can see with the 5 or 7 or whatever percent they're spending funding Ukraine and how much it's affecting the outcome there. It gives them a basis to, if it grew wider and involved more people, how much it really matters.
Analyze how much it would cost us to fight a war on foreign shores, basically.
Yeah.
Makes a little bit of sense. I mean, hell, the Germans didn't go into World War II untested. They fought in the Spanish Civil War.
Exactly.
They were battle hardened, and they had World War I veteran officers and general staff. So
we're basically learning right now which equipment is effective on the battlefield in the current situation and all that without risking our servicemen. We're just throwing some money at it to see which systems are working.
We should throw them for a loop, man. China and Russia would have nor Ukraine. They would have no idea what to do. The United States just bomb the hell out of Ukraine. That'd confuse everybody.
well, I think Ukraine is crucial for that part of the world. I mean, it's their port, isn't it? I mean, isn't it their outlet into the, what is it, the Baltic, or no, not the Baltic,
The Black Sea.
the Black Sea, yeah. I mean, the Soviet Union destroyed a huge portion of it, but, you know,
I think the Soviet Union destroyed most of Ukraine.
that's a food producing region with
Yeah, we get a lot of grains from them, don't we? The whole
Probably.
world gets a lot of grains from them.
well, I think we taught them how to grow grain, taught them what to plant. They didn't know what the hell they were doing after World War II because everybody that knew anything was dead. Khrushchev had to come over here and learn something. They weren't allowed to do it while Stalin was alive. Everybody had to starve. But I guess they need a lot of grain to make all that vodka, that's for sure.
The problem with the whole war in Ukraine is it's going exactly the way Russia wants it to. It's going nice and slow.
It's gonna be another fucking stalemate, another Korean conflict, where they're gonna have a militarized border.
The Russian military has always been known to be slow in the beginning of the fight. And then eventually they just come out of the freaking closet and go apeshit crazy.
Well, they weather the storm, you know, but times are a little different. Well, we'd like to think times are a little different now, but they just keep throwing soldiers at the problem because they had a surplus of people. You know, they didn't train them, they didn't equip them, they just threw them at it.
Well, I think you got China helping out Russia too.
Well, the thing is, I think Russia's going to pull out and turn around and say, "Fine, Ukraine, have what you want." They're going to play the long game. And they're going to take their BRICS, their new trade currency, and they're going to flatten the rest of the world just by destroying the U.S. dollar.
You think so?
Yep. U.S. dollar collapses and the U.S. is screwed.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. That's what all this negotiations with China and Pakistan and India and Saudi Arabia and all that and Africa and what's going on, and all the non-UN countries, they're all joining the BRICS.
Why is it not only is Russia but China? Why are they setting up camps in our Western Hemisphere, in South America and such?
They're running out of room in China. I mean,
But I wouldn't allow it if I was president of the United States. I'd be like, get the hell out of our hemisphere, get back on your side.
I mean, not that they're running out of space. I mean, that country's huge, but a lot of it's infertile and uninhabitable. You know, just like Russia, frozen tundra. What the hell do you do with it?
Make ice.
Yeah,
You're supposed to know that.
they harvest ice. It's already there.
They're setting up bases to protect their economic allies. What once U.S. snaps and decides to go through Mexico and continue going?
I don't know that they have anything. Well, yeah, they got oil, but apparently we don't need oil anymore. We need lithium. More batteries. Batteries are going to be.
I still think the battery thing is going to go. It's going to become a very quiet issue, or a slowed down issue within the next 2 years.
I think so too. We're not.
We don't have a grid that can handle it, man.
No, not without nuclear power.
What's up, JWC?
That's okay. Everyone can have an electric car and just go plug next to the nuclear missile and charge off the missile. There we go. That's how we can deplete the world of nuclear weapons. We'll put jumper cables and charge all our electric vehicles off every nuclear weapon in the world and deplete the uranium that way, and no country can launch a bomb. Problem solved.
What about the doomsday machine? We got to have a doomsday machine.
Have you ever seen?
Yeah, we do. We got one. It's called the Sun, and it's very angry right now.
Yeah.
You ever seen a computer animated footage of what an internuclear warhead can do? Like international nuclear warhead can do? The damage, the devastation it does. What's projected? That's only what's projected. Now remember, when we dropped those A bombs on Japan, we have projections there, and the United States was totally wrong on the projections. The damage was like twice as devastating as they expected. So our projection on these nuclear warheads, are they off by 2 times, 3 times? How far off are they on the projected damage that they can cause?
Yeah, and the fallout
and the devastation. I mean,
see, that's the thing is, if our governments and countries want to go to war and fight with each other, let them do it the old-fashioned way, and basically abolish nukes all around, because you know what, nukes is the end of it all.
Yeah, it's the end all be all.
It's the end of it all. The world's over. It's done. There's no coming back from it. So if we're gonna fight amongst each other, let's just give everyone a stick, put them in a field, and tell them to start beating each other. Because then eventually all the angry people will beat each other to death, and then it'll just be the happy people left. All the hippies will inherit the world.
Well, where their miscalculation was in World War II, was they dropped these things in the ocean. They dropped them out in the middle of the desert to project their damage and all that. When they dropped them on Japan, they never, or anywhere we could have dropped them, they never took into account natural gas, combustible materials surrounding the area, electric lines, the whole 9 yards, capacitors, everything that would just be a chain reaction, which intensified the explosion greatly.
The structures in close proximity to each other.
Yeah, they just never even thought about that. They just looked at, oh, it'll just take out this particular area. They never
Yes.
thought about
None of that. Exploding a bomb in the water actually absorbs a lot of the energy and shields the energy back inwards from the ripple from the explosion. When
I
you
just
drop
want
a
to know
bomb
where
on
everybody
land,
thinks.
the reaction is a lot more intensified.
I just want to know where everybody thinks throwing a bomb in the ocean helps protect the environment. I mean, we were all kids at one time. Some of us still are. If you're in the bathtub and you fart underwater, the bubbles rise to the surface.
It's
I
true.
mean, the gases still come up out of the water. The dangerous shit still comes up out of the water for the most part.
Man.
Well, I also look at the damage to the marine life. There's a reason why our marine life is depleted.
I'll
Because
be right back,
they've
Jim.
irradiated them all. That's the thing. Well, that's okay. India landed safely on the moon, so there'll be quickie marts there pretty soon. So we all just move to the moon. That's the first thing that they said when they landed. All right, we'll put a quickie mart here. We'll put a laundromat over here. We'll put a temple right here. Buddha!
Do you have that many Indians that live around you?
Yes.
You
Got
have
lots
a
here.
Yeah, you have a pretty good accent around it. I have many that live around here. They frequently ask me, sir, can I come out to my vehicle and get some reading materials? I am up front sitting beside myself.
Yeah. I love them because they can't swear. They don't know how to swear. Not in English. We're double dumbass, you too. What are you doing, you stupid turd? You are a poopy head.
Fuck my mother.
Yeah, fuck my mother.
Fuck my mother. We'll bring her to the shop. It's, actually, Indian guy told me that one time. You go fuck my mother. It's
Bring
like,
your donkey's ass.
like, bring her to the shop. They're getting better. They're learning how to swear properly.
I get a kick out of India did on a tiny little budget that what the U.S. has been spending billions and trillions of dollars on every single year. They're like, or we'll take some tinfoil, some wagon wheels, put it to a rocket, and boom, we're on the moon. It will cost us $9,000. Meanwhile, NASA's like, oh well, we're at 6.7 trillion, and we got the base of the rocket made. No.
The dollars our country spends and the numbers that we throw up are fucking absolutely insane.
Epic numbers.
Epic. We have a freaking leader that claims that he's lowered our national deficit by like $1.6 trillion. And his economic plan is going to lower it by so many hundreds of billions of dollars each year thereafter. But if you look at the facts, the deficit's decreased.
Hello.
I'd love to know where he decreased the deficit or lowered the deficit.
Well, first he's dyslexic. Dyslexic. Next one, he has dementia. So he drops his car keys. He's screwed. He'll never find them again. So he doesn't remember where he put that money.
Thanks for stopping in.
I don't remember giving $9 trillion, and I don't remember it.
I was on the beach, man. I have to say, out of all things he's done as president of the United States, his most pathetic moment was at Maui, Hawaii. When he tried to claim that he felt he could be in the same feeling for those people because he had a lightning bolt that hit his lake. But no, it wasn't a lake, it was a pond. And the energy went through the ground, got in his AC, and potentially started a small fire. And he could have lost a 67 Corvette. So I really feel for you folks as the fucking whole island's destroyed. And I like thought to myself, are you fucking kidding me? You didn't just say that.
Do you know what's funniest thing? You got Oprah Winfrey and Dwayne The Rock Johnson trying to raise money for, like, they have enough money between the two of them. They could buy the goddamn all the islands of Hawaii. Why are they asking people to donate? Why don't you just take your billions and billions of dollars and give it to them? Come on, you're rich enough. Like, Oprah, you have a huge plantation there. Open your gates, let people in.
Well,
Right.
the Rock family.
Oprah is the richest black female in the United States of America, and I believe the second richest black female in the world, if not the richest.
Like, why are millionaires asking poor people to give their last pennies when and poor people will give their last pennies, yet these friggin' rich ass bastards are like, oh well, we're gonna give $10,000. Let's see how much the rest of the world can give. Dude, kaboom. You're not gonna even be able to spend that money before you're dead. Your children won't even be able to spend that money before you're dead.
Well, the Rock's family is from Hawaii.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Why The Rock doesn't just say, hey, take it all, man. Take it all. You guys are worth more than my mansion. You guys are worth way more than my mansion because you're my people. Like,
I totally disagree. If I inherited $80 billion, I'd have no problem using it. All I gotta do is get on the Snap-on show.
Yeah. That's just on a box. You don't even have any tools to put in it. Or those ratcheting wrenches. Those are those new long ratcheting wrenches.
Oh, the $800 set of new ratcheting wrenches?
Yeah, I need those.
They're better than the mountain wrenches. I don't give a shit what anybody says. All ratcheting wrenches break. So for all those listening, buy Milwaukee ratcheting wrenches. Buy Gear Wrench ratcheting wrenches. Buy Mountain. Buy K-Tool. I think K-Tool's who took over Mountain. Buy Easy Red. They're all going to break if you put too much ass on them.
Williams, Taiwan. They're fine.
$800 for, was it, 4 ratcheting wrenches?
Come on. Tectons. Buy the fucking Tectons. Capris.
You guys hear about China's dam breaking and then drowning half their population?
There's no way they drowned half their population because they'd be floating up on the beaches of California right now if they did.
Well, get ready. Get out there. Get on the beach. Literally, it's crazy. They literally, like, their dam burst and they, like, the flooding is just insane. And then they had a whole bunch of
down half their population because
that
they
made it
down half
worse.
the population that takes their power away from the United States. The U.S. would love nothing more than China to only be 750 million people versus 1.5 billion.
Oh, man. Well, it's not China you got to worry about. It's India. India's got 3 times as many people as China now, don't they?
No.
They got a very well-trained military, a very well-trained military.
Everything's based on English doctrine.
Like,
No, I think my 303 is an Ishapur. It was made in India
Mhm.
on Enfield tooling, but I mean it was an Ishapur. Great Britain, World War One. You know, all those hundreds of thousands of casualties didn't come from Great Britain; they came from India.
it's kind of funny. I got a old Bronco. I got a 1982 Bronco, and the 4x4 shift stick. Someone took the hilt off a knife sheath, off a old bayonet knife, U.S. military bayonet knife sheath, and they welded it on and drilled a hole through and stuck the knife into there. I went in there. I'm looking at it, going, "What the heck is that?" I'm like, okay, hopefully they didn't weld it. So I took a hammer, tapped it up, and the thing came out. 1905.
Wow.
1905 bayonet knife that was stuck in a Bronco being used as a friggin' shifter. And I got the upper end of the hilt. So now I sent it off to a guy to restore it, and he's gonna make a brand new sheath using the original sheath guard, and like the steel off the sheath and all that, because that's all still intact.
Well, some of them, I think the ones that went with Springfield rifles had a metal sheath, and the ones that went with the American Enfields had a metal top and a metal bottom, and then the center was like a really stiff reinforced leather.
Yeah.
I have one of those old 1917 bayonets, and they were all converted Springfield bayonets. Same pattern, like a big sword, or like a little sword.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
great.
absolutely shocked. It's like, yep, well, that I got the truck for free, and while I get this thing restored, I should be able to get another 250. So hey, I'm ahead of the game already.
There you go. 82 Bronco, is that a full-size truck or is that a Bronco 2?
It's a full size Bronco.
Oh, okay.
It had the canopy back, the hard top.
It's an OJ Bronco, a square body.
Yeah.
You can do a low-speed in it.
But she's rusty. She's toast. She is toast. There's nothing salvageable on the thing. I was hoping that there would have been something salvageable on it, but it's sat in the bush way too long.
No, I still think China has a higher population than India, Turner, but it's hard to say because I think India gives us real numbers. I don't know how true China's numbers are. Special guest is on tonight.
Been a while, I guess.
Hey, Jamie.
Whoa, Jamie! Long time no
Yes.
see. How you been
Yes.
doing?
I am doing work. I'm part time back in the shop.
Nice.
Yes. I have a Dana 60 that I'm building.
Ooh.
Yes. The mounting plate. Yeah. JWC. I met JWC Tech, by the way. Awesome dude. Got some Milwaukee pack out stuff from him.
Cool.
Nice.
Yep. Met him in person. And I mounted it in my Jeep. When I went to Texas, I mounted one of the things to hold my airlines and stuff and my spare fuel pump. Because I made a fuel pump access panel to the Jeep. And I cleaned up some wiring and stuff. And I really cleaned up the wiring in the Jeep and crawled through everything and rewrapped everything. And so now it really looks like a GM throttle body unit belongs in a Jeep. So, Now I'm back in Alabama.
Have you had
Okay,
much
that's
time
really-
to play around at home yet?
I've been playing around at home a lot. Like
Nice.
I was at the shop at my shop in Texas doing the Jeep stuff, and I brought I brought yeah, I did a lot of work there.
Cool.
And I was able to clean my shop and set it up the way I wanted to, and I put a speaker system so I can listen to music, and yeah.
So how did school turn out for you? Were you successful?
With what? What school? Oh, that school.
Yeah, last time I talked to you, it's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a long
Yeah,
while.
I made it barely, but I made it.
Nice.
And now I'm gonna work on my master tech. So
Awesome.
That's
Well,
next.
Congratulations.
that's next in the school thing is working on my master tech. I had to go to another certification after the school for something else. So that's pretty much what's going on with me. Oh yeah, the Dana 60. I got a Dana 60 out of an ambulance that I'm building, and I'm gonna put in the truck. I'm basically turning my brick nose into an F350. I'm gonna take the TTB 50 out, and put a Dana 60 kingpin in it, and I have it apart, and I have all the seals and stuff here to finish putting it together, and I'll check the pattern in the lash tomorrow and seal it up,
Nice.
and then drive to Tennessee to go pick up springs.
Jesus.
Because I drove to Tennessee. No, I drove to Virginia on Monday to pick up the axle. 708 miles in a 460.
Ooh.
Yep, that's what's going on with me. And I'm going back to Pennsylvania in October. And then in November, I'm going to Canada again.
Woohoo! Well, I keep
Montreal.
my eyes open for you.
I'm going to Montreal.
Montreal, wrong side of Canada. Dang.
Yeah.
It's a long ways from you, Turner.
They always send me to Canada right before Thanksgiving. It happens all the time. But it's okay. I'll go to Princess Auto and Dollarama and Tim Hortons and yep.
Well, hopefully they still got some of the big bars left for $9.99.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a damn good deal.
But
It was $9.99.
$9.99. That's what that big Tex 3-inch bar cost me.
I have some weather stripping too. And then I just put my tow mirrors, my extended tow mirrors on the truck today. I started to do the weather stripping, but I'm gonna do the weather stripping tomorrow. The door seals. Yeah, I'm really going through this truck more. Put a carpeted mat on it on the dash. I put a new fuel selector valve so I can use both my tanks now. Again.
Nice.
Yeah, this truck is like my dream truck. Almost. Yep. Enough about me. How's everybody on here?
I'm doing good. My dream truck is something
Living the
that runs
dream.
off of Milwaukee.
Your dream truck
don't
is
know.
something that runs on Milwaukee battery? Oh,
I'm
so
joking.
Summit Racing's got the biggest Milwaukee tool selection I've ever seen.
I've got my dream truck sitting out front. Just need a set of headers.
So I got the shirt from one of the companies. It says,
Moving trucks. Progress. I like it. I like it.
since now I'm building OBS trucks, and people are like, hey, got a question about my 460. I'm like, great. I'm a Jeep girl. Yeah.
There's my dream truck.
Yeah, that's a Denside? No, that's a. What year is it?
70.
It's a bump. That's a bump side. I see it now. Yeah, you got the Denside after that. That's the bump side. That's beauty. Does it have the 240 in it?
No, this one has a 532-inch 460 in it.
Sweet.
Somebody had already put a Lincoln drivetrain in it when I got it.
I have a 460.
So
Drive
I pulled it
train.
out.
Uh-oh.
It turned out to be cheaper to turn it into a 532 with aluminum heads than it would have been to do a 429 or a 460.
I just
So
have a stock 460 with a 600 carb on it in mine.
it'll work. It'll run forever like that
I'm gonna.
and take all kinds of punishment.
Well, it takes all kinds of gas because I drove it to Southwest Virginia on Monday at 708 miles to and from Alabama, and I can tell you that the gas was great.
They don't do too bad.
Does it get about 10 miles to the gallon?
Now I got 13.1.
Yeah,
Pretty
you'd never
good.
never get an old 454 to do that. Best we ever got out of the dually was 8.
I get like 11 pulling my camper. Something
Yeah,
like
that's not,
maybe
that's
10.
not bad at all.
It's got a 4-speed granny. It's okay. I just drive it. I drive it every day. Now I'm going to put a Dana 60 in it. I got to pick up the F350 springs tomorrow in Tennessee.
Yeah, this one's got a Dana 60. Doesn't have a posi, and I want to say I think it's got a.
What brand pry bar is that? It had a striking handle on it, didn't it?
Yep. It's a Tex, TEKZ.
It sure ain't made by Mayhew.
Nope, it's TEKZ.
That's
No,
a
but I'm saying it's rebranded. Sure it ain't
That's a
made by Mayhew.
Canadian company, isn't it?
It's got
Is
the
that a
striking.
Canadian company?
Mayhew owns their own plastic molding company, and they make all kinds of shit.
This is made in India.
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 Hi, Mrs. Frosty. Say hi to Mrs. Frosty.
Hi.
Frosty.
Hello, Pin Pin. You don't want to play? Guess not. Oh. We're having motorcycle tire for dinner.
Are you leaving for Tennessee tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll be in Tennessee tomorrow.
Jesus.
Where are you at?
Where do you have to drive from?
Alabama. Not too far. I'm just picking up my springs. It's not like Monday when I drove to Virginia. Jesus. Wow, that was a long drive with one tank working. Yeah, I'll be in driving to Tennessee to pick up a new set of F350 leaf springs I found on Marketplace. Because the spring rates are different than the F250. The spring rates on the front of a 350 are actually lighter than the 250's TTB, the twin traction beam Dana 50.
In the microwave they go.
No, I would not hesitate to eat that.
So this Dana 60 is geared to 410s.
410s.
Yeah.
Well, fuel mileage is a little bit better.
I have 355s right now. So I'm gonna re-gear the rear to 410s, and I'm gonna put 35s on it.
And put it for like 3 minutes.
I don't think it's gonna take that long. It ain't frozen.
Right.
Because it's got 31s on it now.
Yeah.
35,
You go from
35.
31 to 35, so it's from a 355 to a 410. You almost probably about
It's about equal. It'll get me back to
equal.
my.
You're not even gonna have to worry about the speedo being off that much.
No, my speedometer's off by 5, but it's supposed to have 32s, but it's got 31s, and my speedometer's off by like 5 at like 70 miles an hour. So it'll be fine, especially when I put the gear vendors on the back end of it. It'll be fine. That's something else I got to do eventually. Yeah, this truck is kind of it's getting big. Yeah, like it. The Dana 60 is a solid axle. So and you got less moving parts and less sprung mass, or you got more unsprung mass than the TTB 50, but it's less articulation because it's a solid tube beam style, and you need a lesser spring rate because they're evenly distributed instead of one spring per beam. So it's one solid beam and it splits it different versus the two beams to have a heavier spring rate to account for the sprung mass. That's the why it's like that. Just splits the difference easier. So if I put the Dana 60 under the F250 springs, it would ride a little rough.
You'd be sprung too hard.
Yeah. But I'm getting new springs. It'll be and then I'm gonna get new end joints, but I'm not ready to put I'm not gonna be ready to put the axle in for at least another week.
Yeah, they usually don't drive all that nice until you get some weight in them.
Because I will because what I'm gonna do is I can use my wheel items, my hubs and rotors from the Dana 50 to put on the 60, and I had to get new spindles because the other ones are destroyed. So those came in from East Coast Gear Supply. So I got the new spindles, and then I'll put those on, and I'll put the wheel items, and I got the hubs, which I already packed the bearings and did the brakes. So on the front, so I'm just going to reuse the wheel bearings and the rotors and brake assembly, which will be okay because I already just did them. And then I'll have a solid 60 in the front, and it'll look pretty cool.
You just load the whole thing in there at once, huh?
Yeah. Luckily, I'm at a shop where I can use a lift, so I'm just gonna raise it up. Let the stuff fall, raise it up, wheel it out, get the,
Roll.
and then I'll just put the housing after I set the gears and check the pattern tomorrow, and the lash tomorrow. I'll do that, and I'll just put it up into the truck with the new springs after I get the springs. And then I'll start building the outers out, which that's going to be probably next week when I get to that part, because I don't want the truck on taking up a lift for a while, because we still have to get another vehicle on that lift. So that's what's going on in the world of Jamie's. I'm not going to do nothing to this OBS, but replace all the bushings. And it ended up in putting a solid axle in the front. Which is okay.
Anyways, I'm gonna go to bed because I gotta wake up stupid early tomorrow. But it was nice seeing you all.
Yeah, I can hang out backstage. I have insomnia, and
It was nice seeing you all again. You guys have a great night. Enjoy your week. And I'll see you next time when I see you.
yes, I'll see you. I'll be around. I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow after Tennessee, but hopefully not breaking my back.
I'll try to have some fun while doing it.
Oh, of course. I've been having fun with the 60 when I was pulling it apart.
Have a good one, sir.
Take care.
Thanks for inviting me, Dave. Nice
Been
seeing
a
you again,
while.
Frosty.
Been a
I'll
while.
talk to you soon,
Hey,
I
Turner.
think we're all gonna jump off the live, and if anybody wants to talk, we'll be on Backstream. I tossed the link out there, so anybody wants to join
Backstream. That sounds like a bunch of sweaty construction workers.
in.
Can be. Especially if Tarek jumps on.